The reign of the Romanov dynasty is a central era in the history of the Russian Empire, which lasted for 304 years, from 1613 to 1917. This was a time of great transformations, during which Russia transformed from a devastated country after the time of troubles into one of the leading global powers. The Romanov era can be divided into several key stages. 1. Restoration and establishment, 17th century. Reign. Mikhail Fyodorovich, 1613-1645, Alexei Mikhailovich, 1645-1676, Fyodor Alexeyevich, 1676-1682. Overcoming the time of troubles. The first Romanovs, Mikhail and his father, Patriarch Filaret, focused on restoring the economy and strengthening state power. The Church Schism. Under Alexei Mikhailovich, Patriarch Nikon implemented a church reform correcting liturgical books and rituals, leading to a split between the official church and the Old Believers. The Cathedral Code of 1649. Legal enslavement of peasants, abolishing fixed years, and perpetual search for runaways, finalizing the establishment of serfdom. Reunification with Ukraine. In 1654, Ukraine Hetmanate became part of Russia after Bohdan Khmelnytsky's uprising against the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. 2. The era of Peter the Great, 1682-1725, the window to Europe. Major reforms. Peter the Great radically transformed all aspects of life. Army and Navy. He established a regular army based on conscription and a powerful navy. Administration. Replacing orders with collegia, creating the Senate and the Synod. Dividing the country into provinces. Economy. Developing manufactories and encouraging trade. Culture. Introduction of a new calendar, civil script, founding of the Academy of Sciences, and the introduction of European customs. The Great Northern War, 1700-1721, victory over Sweden gave Russia access to the Baltic Sea. The proclamation of the empire. In 1721, Russia was declared an empire, and Peter I was proclaimed emperor. 3. The era of palace coups, 1725-1762. After Peter I's death, the throne became a pawn in the hands of the Guards regiments and aristocratic factions. Over the course of 37 years, 6 rulers succeeded each other: Catherine I, Peter II, Anna Ioannovna, Ivan VI, Elizabeth Petrovna, and Peter III. Expansion of the privileges of the nobility. The actual rule of Anna Ioannovna's favorite, Ernst Byron Baronism. 4. The Golden Age of the Russian nobility, second half of the 18th century. Reign. Catherine II the Great, 1762-1796, Paul I, 1796-1801. Catherine II's enlightened absolutism, the creation of the Free Economic Society, the Legislative Commission, and the secularization of church lands. The rise of serfdom. Serfdom reached its peak, and the rights of peasants were almost completely destroyed. The Pugachev Rebellion, 1773-1775, the largest peasant war in Russian history, led by Yemelyan Pugachev. The Russo-Turkish Wars. Significant territorial expansion in the south, the annexation of Crimea and Novorossiya. The rise of the generals Suvorov and Ushakov. The partitions of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Russia gained control of the territories of modern-day Belarus, Ukraine, Lithuania, and Latvia. The short and controversial reign of Paul I, which ended with a palace coup and the emperor's assassination. 5. The first half of the 19th century, between reforms and reaction. Reign. Alexander I, 1801-1825, Nicholas I, 1825-1855. The Patriotic War of 1812. The defeat of Napoleon's army, the foreign campaigns of the Russian army, and the significant increase in Russia's international prestige. The Decembrist Uprising, 1825, an attempt by noble revolutionaries to overthrow the autocracy and limit its power. The uprising was brutally suppressed. The era of Nicholas I, the gendarme of Europe, the establishment of a strict police regime, the suppression of dissent, and the codification of laws, the Code of Laws of the Russian Empire. Crimean War, 1853-1856. Russia's defeat by a coalition of European powers revealed the empire's technological backwardness and served as a catalyst for future reforms. 6. The era of great reforms and counter-reforms, second half of the 19th century. Reign. Alexander II the Liberator, 1855-1881, Alexander III the Peacemaker, 1881-1894. Abolition of serfdom, 1861, the main event of Alexander II's reign, which fundamentally changed the social structure of the country. Liberal reforms. The Zemstvo, judicial, urban, and military reforms modernized Russia. The Russo-Turkish War of 1877-1878. The liberation of Bulgaria from the Ottoman yoke. The growth of the revolutionary movement. The emergence of populist organizations, culminating in the assassination of Alexander II in 1881. Alexander III's counter-reforms. A course towards curtailing liberal reforms, strengthening administrative control, and Russifying the national outskirts. 7. The decline of the empire, 1894-1917. Reign. Nicholas II, 1894-1917. Rapid economic growth. Industrial expansion, construction of the Trans-Siberian Railway, and the activities of Finance Minister Sergei Witte. The Russo-Japanese War, 1904-1905, Russia's defeat and the First Russian Revolution. The First Russian Revolution, 1905-1907, Bloody Sunday and widespread unrest. The October Manifesto of 1905 granted civil liberties and established the State Duma, Russia's first parliament. Participation in World War I, 1914-1918, the country faced immense challenges, including heavy casualties, an economic crisis, and a decline in the government's authority. The February Revolution of 1917, the abdication of Nicholas II and the fall of the monarchy. The results and significance of the Romanov era. Territorial growth. Russia became the largest continental empire in the world. Transformation into a global power, from the regional state of Muscovy to a key player in European and global politics. Cultural flourishing. The emergence of great Russian literature, music, art, and world-class science. Unresolved issues. The persistence of an archaic autocratic system, class inequality, the peasant question, and the growing social tensions that eventually led to the revolutions of 1917.